Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from PocketNow.com. If you're tired of those large form-factored phones out there, then you probably really liked the Palm Pixie and Palm Pixie Plus. Both of these devices have really small 2.6-inch displays with a really nice keyboard on the front. Very clicky, by the way. You can hear it. They're super thin, super light, super tiny. They slip into the pocket very easily. And a lot of people really like this form factor. Well, HP, or Palm previously known as, is back with the Veer, which is their next version of the Pixie, taking that really small sort of form factor and bringing it to a smartphone operating system, in this case, the latest version of WebOS. Why do they call it the Veer? Well, Palm and HP wanted to, quote, veer away from these larger form factors and come out with a device that is tiny, small. In fact, this is the smallest smartphone that you can get. And in this video, we're going to unbox it. Let's get to it. Okay, so before we get started, let's take a look at the box here, see if we see any interesting specs. On the back, we see built-in AGPS, of course, 5-megapixel camera, no front-facing camera. This is also HSPA Plus compatible, Category 10, which means in theory you'll be able to get maximum speeds of 14.4 megabits per second. In practice, if you happen to have AT&T HSPA Plus in your area, you'll get probably about 6 megabits per second down. Not as fast as T-Mobile's 4G, which is around 10, maybe 9, and Verizon and Sprint, which are up there at about 12 to 14 megabits per second, depending on how strong your connection is. So we've got a 800 megahertz processor in the Veer with 512 megabytes of RAM. It's spec'd a lot higher than the original Pixie and Pixie Plus, which should lead to a really nice experience. Again, the latest version of WebOS here with the stackable cards. So let's slide it out, and we're upside down here, and here's what it looks like. Obviously, it looks very much like a shrunken down Palm Pre 2, and we've got a Pre here to show you. Take off the cover. Here is the device. It is super tiny, and we're going to compare it to other devices in a second to show you how tiny it is. And in the box, we've actually got an interesting accessory to talk about. Now, because the Veer is so tiny, it does not have a charging port. It does not have a 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Kind of depressing in a way, but you got to think about it like as different. So if you look around the device, as you can see, you don't see any ports. No 3.5 millimeter jack and no charging port. We see this, and this is the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. You must attach this piece, which attaches with a magnet, and then you've got your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. The difficult thing about this is that this pops off sort of easily. Well, if you twist it a little bit. So if you're at the gym and you accidentally tug on the wire for the HP Veer, you're probably going to unplug the headset with that magnetic part. But if you're charging it, it's not that big of a deal. You're probably letting it alone on the desk or on the floor, wherever you charge. And this is what the charging cable looks like. So just like the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, magnets suck it in, you pull it off. And so not a big deal. A lot of people are complaining about this, but that's the trade-off. You get a small device, but they had to remove the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and the charging port. Okay, so let's take a look around the device here, just a quick look, and we've got a Palm-esque quick button to turn the device into silent mode, which is always handy to have. We've got a power button here, 5-megapixel camera on the back, there's the speaker. This phone is so small, and my hands are kind of smallish, so it really doesn't show you how small this device is. Look at it next to the HP, or actually it's the Palm. You have to draw the line in the sand when Palm became HP. The Pre 2. So you can see that you could probably fit, not 2, but 1.5 Veer on the Palm Pre 2. Palm Pre 2 has a larger display here of 3.1 inches, and it's got a faster processor, 1 gigahertz, but the same amount of RAM, 512. So a little bit slower here in terms of the clock speed of the processor, but it should be pretty fast, pretty well optimized for WebOS. And let's see if we can remove the back battery cover just to see what that's like. I'm assuming that you pop it off here. This device is so cute. Yeah, we've got to look into that to figure out how to do that. Soft touch plastic on the back makes it have a nice in-hand feel. And of course they did away with the front-facing keyboard here. Now we've got a slide-up keyboard. And let's see how the size of the keys compare to the Pre 2. So let's get a little bit closer. And the keys are definitely smaller. Let's see if they're as clicky. Yes, they are as clicky as the Pixie. people will be rejoicing about that across the interwebs. So very cute, spring-assisted slider, nice looking device, extremely small. This is a cool phone to have if you're tired of those big devices out there that take up a large amount of space in your pocket or whatever. We've got a lot more coverage coming up on the HP Veer 4G. We're going to run speed tests, talk about the software, talk about how fast it is compared to previous WebOS devices, and determine whether this device is too small or just the right size to be super pocket friendly. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. That's it for now.